Hey beautiful people, April Mack here, coming to you live. I don't even know what day it is, I think it's Monday. I wanted to come on today and give you a bit of a behind the scenes look at how I have been growing my business and some of the strategies that I use to do that in case they're helpful for you. So there's four kind of, I call them pillars, four pillars to my business strategy, that are overarching strategy that I take in order to keep growing. And so instead of just like, I think what I used to do, I used to just, do posts on Facebook and just hope for the best, cross my fingers. I used to do a bit of ad hoc networking. Everything was kind of a bit ad hoc, but now I'm taking a more strategic approach to what I do, and it's making a big difference. So I wanted to share the things that I'm doing that are making a big difference in my business, in the hope that they will do the same for you if you want to consider doing them. So hey to anyone watching, just say hi if you're here so I can see who you are. And if you're watching on replay, please hashtag replay, leave a comment so I know you are here. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, just leave them because I always come back to them. So there's the four things that I do. The first thing is nurturing the people that I've already got following me. So that's one strategy, and I'll talk a bit about how I'm doing that. So nurturing. The second thing I do is actually branding, brand building exercises and strategies. So I'll tell you more about that. The third thing I do is selling. I sell online. So I come on here and I talk about what I've got and I share it with people and I sell. And the fourth thing I do is very intentional growth projects. So how do I get more people in to see what I'm doing and then therefore buy from me? And all of those four things help me to grow my business. So let me just have a quick sip of tea because I feel like I need it right now. And I'll just tell you what each of those things look like for me. And how they might help you. So the first thing, nurturing the people that you've already got. So this might be something you're doing really well already, because most of us do tend to do this quite well, where we give value, we do posts on our social media, we've got a business page, maybe a Facebook business page, Instagram, and we're sharing tips, tricks, tools, strategies that are going to nurture and help those we're here to serve. So that was something I was probably always doing relatively well, but I didn't even know it was an intentional thing. So now that I know that that's actually part of my strategy, one of my pillars, I can do that very strategically and think about, okay, what's really going to nurture the people that follow me? What do they need in order to grow themselves? And so doing a live like this is a nurturing project or activity. It's not a project doing a live, but you might have a series of lives that are part of a mini course that you're offering for free to the people that you're here to nurture and love. So that's nurturing. So the ones that I've got in mind for this month, so what I do at the start of each month is I make a plan against all of these four pillars at the start of every month. So my nurturing plan is basically to be doing lives on my front line. This is my front line, my Facebook business page. I call it my front line. And this is where I give value. And I think about the kind of posts that maybe people might find useful. Like I did one last night, a little image of how to nail Facebook. It's called Facebook Nailed It, and it's part of a promotion that I'm doing for a course I'm running, but it's also valuable in and of itself. So it's got the 10 tips that I would tell anyone to do to really nail Facebook. So that's part of me nurturing the people that are following me. And then also things like inspiring quotes, anything that you're going to help motivate people to really go after what, their dreams and goals are, the people that you're here to serve. Or if you're, say, a parenting expert, things that are going to make mums feel good, or strategies that they can use that are really simple and easy. You give those away. That's the nurturing side of the things that we do. And so a lot of people focus so much on the nurturing that they forget about the growing. And by doing the nurturing, you will actually automatically grow, because if the stuff you're doing is so valuable, people will tell other people about it and share your posts. So that can lead to growth, but there's other things that you can also do to intentionally grow. So do the nurturing, that's one layer. The next thing I do is what's called brand building. So this is really, brand building is all about, what it is brand, what people say about your brand is imagine it's their perspective of you and your brand. So if you've got my brand is me, that's, so what would people say about April Mac if I wasn't in the room? That is basically, April Mac as a business. So I would be hoping that they would say, oh, she's, interesting. She teaches really good stuff. She's really generous with her time. Her courses are fun. That's the sort of stuff, and she's smart and all these great things. That's what I want people to say about me if I'm not in the room. And that is my brand. So they're the sorts of things I need. If I want people to say those things, then I've got to do the things that will lead to them saying that. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any comments, please leave them as we go. So brand building is like getting out in front of as many people as you can and really promoting what you do, being very open and honest about what you stand for, authentically presenting yourself and or your business. You might be your business, but you might have products. And talking about those and making sure people are aware of them. So brand buildings, you might be networking and going on other people's pages, and if they invite you across, doing interviews, writing articles. Those are all things that you can do to get your brand out in front of more people. And when you do that, it's not just about having standardized fonts and colors, that's part of brand. But branding is also about the messaging, so that people really, if I would be hoping that when people talk about the April Mac brand, they would be talking about, oh, she's a business coach. Oh, she talks about alignment and soul, purpose. And, they're the sorts of things that I need to be making sure people understand what my brand is all about and what I help people do. Does that make sense? So the brand building stuff that I'm doing this month is, all the social media stuff I do, that's all brand building. So any posts I do, that's all brand building. I'm also revamping my website. That's a brand project, a rebranding in fact, because my website's a couple of years out of date and it's not aligned with what I now do and teach, and it doesn't have the right message. So I'm revamping that. That's one of my brand building projects. And then going out and talking on other people's stages. So I've got a couple of speaking gigs this month. One is coming up this Thursday at 12:30 on, the Joyful Business Club. So there's a post about that. So that going out and talking and sharing value on someone else's stage is me brand building, so that people start to know, oh, April Mac, who is she? This is what she does. So they're the sorts of things that you can be doing. The third pillar is selling. Now, hopefully you're doing selling already. If you're in business, you should be. But if you might be at the very early stages of your business, so maybe you're not doing that yet. But that is one of the things that you need to build into your kind of daily or monthly, weekly, monthly activities. If you're in business, you need to be selling what you're here to sell. So that's talking about the gifts that you're here to share with the world and making sure that people know how to get them and what they are. So you'd be surprised that there's a lot of people in business that aren't doing a lot of selling, and then it's no wonder that they're not making a lot of money, because if people don't know what you're selling and they don't know how to buy it, then how are you going to make sales? So I do lives like this one. If I'm launching something, and I will talk about it, I will share what the price is of it at the end, and give people the link to buy it. So that is making it super easy for anyone to know what it is I'm selling and how to get it. So I'll come on here and do lives, and then I might do some posts as well, giving the links again with the details. Or I might go on and talk on someone else's stage, and at the end I say there's a special offer. That's the selling stuff that we need to be doing. And if you haven't got an intentional plan on what it is you're going to be selling and where you're going to be selling it, what lives you're going to do or what posts you're going to do, then you might find that you're not going to be maximizing your sales for that month if you don't have a plan around it. So I'm sharing this with you because I never used to have a planned approach to any of the stuff I was doing. And I certainly wasn't selling much. Like, I wasn't talking about what I was selling. Like, I just kind of expected people would come to me and ask. So, and when I say selling, I've done, I don't know if it should be on my Facebook page. Yeah, there'd be some videos there about selling. There's one called Selling with Sass, and it's all about selling. Doesn't have to be sleazy and horrible and feel yucky, because I know some people do have that. It can be done in such a beautiful way where whenever I get on and talk about what I'm selling, I actually feel really good about it, because I know what I'm offering is a gift. It's a gift to people, and I need to let them know about it. Otherwise, they're not going to get the benefits of the things that I'm offering. So if you can transform the way you think about sales and get excited about it, and be more than happy to talk about what it is you're selling and how much it is and where they can get it, it changes everything. So if you're in business, you need to be selling, and so it needs to be one of your fundamental pillars and activities that you plan out each month or week, or whatever your plans, however you do your planning. And the fourth pillar is intentional growing, or I don't know did I call it that at the start? I'm not sure. Basically, I kind of refer to this as the hunting and gathering. So this is like, you've got your nurturing, you do all your, looking after the people you've already got. And that's where a lot of us spend most of our time. But we do have to set aside time to hunt and gather. So we've got to play the male and female, when I say, and I don't mean that sexist way, those two parts, masculine and feminine, nurturing and hunting and gathering. We've got to do both of those things. And the hunting and gathering, maybe it doesn't sound that nice. Maybe I'll come up with a different term. But basically, it's going out and finding the people that you're here to serve. So you can't just wait for them all to find you. I mean, you do want to attract them and them to find you, and you can do that. But you also need to go out and have a little look around and see, are there people out there who could benefit from what you're here to offer, and where are they and what are they doing? So the intentional things that I do in that space, and these are all going to overlap. So once you've got your sort of pillars mapped out, it doesn't mean, you've got to do one individual activity across all four. You might find one live like this, where you're going to sell on it, you're going to brand build, you're going to maybe share it on another page, which is, going to get to more people. So you'll cross all, multiple pillars with one activity. Does that make sense? Just let me know if you've got any questions as we go. So that final piece, the hunting and gathering, you might be looking at growing your friends and following on your social media, and ways to do that. So one way that I've done that I've found is really successful is I've made my personal profile public on Facebook. And so I get lots of friend requests, and I also look for like-minded people, and I friend them. And so that is growing my following. And then because I use my personal page basically to talk about my business and a little bit of the behind the scenes of my life, then people will start to follow me there and maybe transfer to my business page. So that's one of the intentional growth strategies that I use that works really well. Also providing free value to the people who I already serve, and hopefully that they might share some of that content. That is also going to help grow. So if you create posts that are shareable, or, like little downloadable that's shareable, that people say, oh, this is great, and it's got your brand on it, you'll be brand building and you'll be growing your following at the same time. So you're using two of your pillars there. You might look at doing speaking gigs. So I've got one definite lined up for this month, but I'm looking for more. I even put a post on my page today just saying I love speaking. So anyone who needs a speaker this month, let me know, because I've got a bit of time and I'd love to speak on your stage. So looking for collaborations, things to do where you can actually get in front of more people that aren't just the people that you're already nurturing. You might also want to think about writing articles for magazines that you love that are aligned with your brand, or writing a blog on someone else's blog site. There's all sorts of things you can do there to try and increase your exposure across lots of different networks. I don't know if I mentioned networking as well, so I attend quite a few networking events, and it's a fantastic way to meet like-minded people, as well as, you know, brand build. You can sell if you know, if it's appropriate to sell, you can tell them what you sell, and also you can grow because you're getting in front of more people. So they are the 4 pillars. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments and I will come back and look at them afterwards. So if you haven't got those things already sort of front of mind and a bit of a plan for them around how you're running your business, it might be something you want to start doing. And I'd love to hear how it goes for you. All right, take care. I'll see you online soon. Bye for now.